Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Oh, we're a little early. Never mind. Hold on.
We're good.
All right, cool. All right. Hello, everybody. How is everyone doing tonight? How are
Good,
you
good,
guys?
good.
Good.
Fantastic.
Glad you
Awesome,
can
awesome.
glad you can make it right under the wire day. Um,
Always present.
fashionably so. All right. So, welcome to episode 4 of Echoes of the Astral Sea, our Spelljammer campaign, starting with a heavily modified Spelljammer Academy. We are going to pick up here in a minute, but first, of course, we got to do introductions. So, first and foremost, we have playing Scarrock.
Greetings, all. I'm Alex, playing your teal bugbear Skyrock. A little known fact that he actually quite enjoys the fashion of the high courts.
And can turn into a tree.
Yes,
He's all
and
bark, no bite.
ha ha.
I cut you off, Alex. Go ahead.
No, you got it.
All right. And of course, we also have playing the wonderful Thry-Kreen Czar.
I'm Josh. I'm going to be playing your ex-pirate captain, General Czar. Duh. I don't have a fun fact right now.
Fair enough. We'll get one
I
later.
don't.
That's all right. So then we also have Dayton playing.
Howdy, howdy. I'm playing the Satellite Kid, Tin Man. Interesting fact, he only drinks synthetic oil. The organic stuff, just too heavy for him.
Interesting. Interesting.
He can't do the green oil. All right. And last but not least, and also doing our announcements today is Matt playing.
How you guys doing? I am playing Valen Yosai, your resident astral elf and artificer fighter. One thing about Valen, and more so about the astral elves than their elven brother, is due to being out in the astral sea more than other elves, they have more inclination to the sun and better feelings towards it than most other elves.
Absolutely. Yeah. And most Xaryxians have a very close relationship with their perceived god Xaryxos.
Yes.
So it makes a lot of sense.
Mhm.
Absolutely. All right. Did you have any announcements for us today, Matt?
Yeah, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. I know we were supposed to be live last week. I had a live show at the Go Comedy Improv Theater. My improv troupe did a great job. We had another sold out show. It was fantastic. Thank you for everyone that came out and saw us. Unfortunately, we had to move this episode back a week. I'm so sorry, but I promise you it's going to be worth the wait. We got a great episode here. Shout out to everyone on TikTok who's been playing with my silliness and enjoying the memes and partaking in all the fun. We got some new merch rolling out here soon. I've been working hard to set up new merch and new rolling out of character merch, club merch, a lot of other things we're going to be able to offer real soon here. So keep your eyes out. I'll share it all on our TikTok and our other social medias. But other than that, that's really all I got for news. Big shout out to everyone for showing up tonight. And, I'm excited to start this game. So, yeah.
And start we shall. All right. So if everyone's ready, I'm going to go ahead and do the recap and then we'll jump into it.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody good?
Yeah,
Alrighty.
let's do it.
Cool. All right. So last time we had left off with the party entering Mert's room, finding him asleep, and setting the crate down. There was some concern about some substance on the crate itself and how it might be affecting the party. And eventually that concern was founded very well when Scarrock, with a series of scathing natural ones, turned against the party, but managed to continue to be the best party mate he could by missing just about everything. But Valen managed to wake up Mert at one point. Let me find my notes here. Tin Man had noticed the crate starting to rattle and had started to call for assistance before the crate eventually burst open containing 2 what looked to be halved gelatinous cubes, which you later learned each contained, among other detritus, each had a single gauntlet of metallic red or red metallic material that seemed to give off an aura of fury or anger. The Valen had learned very quickly that Mert booby trapped his room, almost being caught in, or having been caught in a dart trap which paralyzed his left side, and later on one of the gelatinous cubes being caught in an explosion at the far end. Anybody who would ask, or Mert makes this a very common knowledge thing, a quote that he's very commonly heard to have said is, anyone who would approach my bed directly is either an assassin or wants to gloat. Either way, I don't want them dead. They might have information. Anyone who approaches from the right side is dastardly and an opportunist. They barely know why they're here, and I barely know who they are. Only my most trusted confidants know to approach from the left, where I keep my pistols, and the side with the good ear. I know them by their gait, you see. But Mert wasn't awake when you entered, and therefore was not able to explain that. However, you found out anyway. As the fight continued on, the gelatinous cubes seemed to be heading specific areas. They didn't seem to be focusing on either of you or any of you until Mert joined the fray, in which case one of them attempted to consume him. This was after Valen was knocked down prone, falling down, then back up the stairs, and then out a window, where he used his he used his starlight step to jump back into the window after allowing Zar, or telling Zar to allow him to fall. As things had come to a close, they exploded one of the gelatinous cubes, spraying almost the entire room in this ichorous goop. Doesn't really have a scent, but it is uncomfortable and not fun to really be covered in. But as the fight was going on, as Mert was falling out the window, an explosion, or causing Mert to fall out the window, an explosion happened that rocked the entire academy and started causing it to fall over. You're not sure why, but it seems to have stopped. And as the fight came to a close, you saw Crux burst into the door, half of his, jacket and everything, and singes with chunks of debris jutting out of his arm and his side. The only thing holding his pants up was the belt, which was miraculously untouched. And he burst in, yelling, "Mert, you're needed!" And Mert looks up. "What happened here?" "Tarto, she's injured. We need to go to the simulation chamber. You 4. We need you at the sky docks immediately."
I need to get my gear before I go anywhere.
I'll agree with him. You 2, up to the docks. Valen, good sir, if it's all right, I'd like to get ourselves over to the barracks.
Let's go.
Well, good thing I always travel with my gear.
Yeah, Skyrock just kind of turns back from being a giant tree and apologizes profusely. He's like, Tin Man, sorry. That should not have sniffed the box.
There'll be
I know
time
that
for
now.
apologies later, my friend. Tin Man, how fast do those little legs go? Can you double time?
Without issue. Let's move.
Let's go.
All right, Skyrock, later, Zar, let's move.
And
Right behind you, Scarrick.
I'm going to go to the battle map, but it's going to take me a minute to get me Tin Man on there, so continue.
Okay. So you immediately head out. You see Mert and Crux off to the side conversing for a moment before heading out themselves. They sort of rush behind you. As you enter the hallways of the academy, you see that this far up, things have gotten weirdly quiet. Like everybody is sort of concentrated down towards the bottom. There's probably some relief efforts of some sort happening. But you make your way through the hallways. Who's leading? I want to know who is where.
I'm following Tin Man. And 1 second, we won't be able to hear him for 1 second here.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Tin Man is leading, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm moving on ahead, and I'm kind of waving him along.
Okay. So you head down through the Nexus, and you get down into the down from the Nexus, and then you head to the outer little ramp that goes around the outside of the Academy. Up ahead, you see something peculiar. You notice it's sort of an evening, so it's low light. But on the outside, everything is, it's a much more steep ramp now as it's tilted forward, or the ramp has actually evened out a little bit, so it's almost flat ground. But ahead, you actually see what looks to be a large rhinoceros-like rock creature standing around some boxes, and a few other people just sort of hanging out nearby. What do you do? They haven't noticed you yet.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to sneak by.
Okay. The entire walkway is about 30 feet wide. So in the low light, you could definitely try. I'm going to have each of you make a... Is everybody trying to stealth past?
If he is, I'm going to follow his lead.
All right.
So, Mark,
Yes.
the trip down, like, are we essentially splitting the party? Are we all moving as 4, and then they're gonna go back to the barracks while we go to the simulation chamber?
We're going to the skydock.
Yeah, they're going to the simulation chamber. You're going to the skydock. We're heading down to the barracks to load up a little bit.
Got it. Okay.
Knox and Mert are going to the simulation chamber.
Okay. So, okay, gotcha. So Skarok and Zar will head up to the simulation chamber, while Tin Man and Valen heads downwards towards the dormitory where your gear is.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And I think at that we're all meeting at the simulation chamber. It's just we're slightly diverging, correct?
You were told to go to the
Skydock.
Skydock
We're
and
gonna
not
meet at the
anywhere
top.
from there. Yep.
Got it. Okay. That's why I'm like, I remember the simulation chamber, didn't hear Skydock. Got it. All right.
All good.
I'm going to do my stealth check.
How stealthy are you feeling?
Not stealthy.
Oof.
Ooh.
Well, we know who the dirty dice are getting tonight.
Oh, so that's a natural 1.
Tin Man, as you're following behind Valen, you notice that the paralysis in his, or the dart that struck him earlier, is still really giving him trouble. You see him sort of crouched down, but his leg is still dragging a little bit. He can't seem to really hold his sword without clanking it on things. I want you to make a stealth check at disadvantage, please.
Yeah, I suppose I can do that.
Okay.
Not great. That's a 9.
Ugly no matter what we do.
All right. So the... Let me bring you over to the right map. So you look up and you notice, or as you try to move forward, Valen, you know that you're trying your best, but it doesn't always work out. And you both have sort of determined that while Tin Man doesn't seem to be seen, Valen, you know for a fact that if you continue like this, you will be seen. So what would you like to do with that information?
Yeah, I'm continuing on. Worse than being seen is having no defense. So I'm just gonna try. Once I start making noise, I'm like, oh shit, this ain't working. And I'm like aggressively dragging my leg and like scooping it around and trying to get over to the door.
Okay. So you'll have to get past them to get back into the academy.
Yep.
Let me bring them up so you can see.
Oh, he big. Oh, he big.
Oh, wait, what?
As I get closer, can I see any like identifying marks on them?
As you get closer, you go ahead and make a quick, we'll say a perception check.
Yep. Bang. How does a 13 sit?
So you look at them and you realize that most of their gear looks ragged, roughed up. The Braxt itself, or the Braxat rather, you've seen these before. They're large chitinous creatures that seem to have rhinoceros-like features. They're not very smart, and they're very prone to violence when agitated. For everyone else, they almost look suspiciously nondescript.
Okay.
Do I take notice of him being precautious? Like he was trying to stealth, not doing so well? Do I see him eyeing them up at all?
You do.
Okay. Perception is not Tin Man's specialty, but he is good at reading people. So I'm going to kind of try to intuit what their demeanor is. Like, are they freaking out after what's going on? Are they weirdly calm? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, go ahead. Let me think about what I'd want you to roll for that. Insight.
Gladly.
That'd be a 23.
Let's go. Nice
All
roll.
right. So with a 23, you notice that the Braxat seems a little agitated, a little anxious. But the two over here with the spears, you can see them working with something against the wall, while the other two are just sort of walking back and forth, patrolling. They seem on edge, like they're trying to rush through this. But the two that are working against the wall seem to be like leaned forward, hunched over something, muttering amongst themselves, trying to talk something out. They seem hurried, but calm.
I'm going to go ahead and elbow Valen, kind of nod my head over towards those two at the wall. Can you see what they're doing from up there?
I don't.
From
I
where
don't-
you are.
yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I say from where you are, you can see that they seem to be working with some sort of a crate that comes up to about waist high. They're both reached forward, leaning into the crate, but so you can't see exactly what it is, but you can see that they're both working on something.
Okay. How far off the water are we?
You are roughly 1,500 feet up.
Okay. So that's not an option.
That's pretty dang high. I'm going to be honest with you.
You just kind of see me looking over the edge.
If you look over the edge, you can actually see much of the detritus and stonework that has been thrown free of the academy from the explosion that you felt earlier.
And the barracks is below us, right?
Correct. It's down one more level.
Even worse.
How do you like rappelling?
Can't say I ever done it before.
And
Why?
I'm gonna start taking some of the rope out of. No, I don't have my gear on me. Never mind. I was just wondering your thoughts on it in general. How do you feel about rappelling in case we had to do in the future? What are your thoughts here, Tin Man? You think we can maybe create a diversion? Or maybe just talk our way through this. Maybe we just run through them and say we're scared and maybe they won't. It's a lot of talking. Let's move.
All right, I agree. Let's move.
All right. So what is the plan here? Are you looking to sprint past them? What are you thinking?
The door's just past them.
It is down a little bit, but yes, if you manage to break free from them, chances are you'd be able to outrun them to the door.
Yeah, I'm going to try my best to make my way through. Honestly, I don't have a fight in me, and I need to get through.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna have you make just a straight dexterity check, and since you're working together, Valen, I'm gonna give you a normal one, so you don't have to roll with disadvantage. Tin Man, I'd like you to roll with advantage, please.
All right. Good. I rolled a 17.
That's 14.
All right. So before they even notice you, Valen, you're already most of the way through. Your elven agility just is incredible. You know what you're about. You're in tune with your body. You spend plenty of time doing this kind of stuff, and you sprint past and you manage to hop over the last guard without anybody even realizing you were there until the last moment. Tin Man, your story is a little different. Realizing they're distracted, you head up this way, and one of them looks up as you pass, and he manages to trip you or attack you to trip you with his spear. So let's see if he manages. Does a 19 hit?
Ooh, a 19 most definitely hits.
Okay, so he's using a shove action to try to push you prone. You can go ahead and make an athletics check to see if you resist the prone.
Tasty. That's a 9.
Okay, so you tip and fall over, and the
Kind
brax.
of
Yeah, your naturally rotund body, you just sort of roll for a second into the leg of the next guy. But seeing Valen go by, they're on alert, and then the Braxet steps up to you. You look up, and Tin Man, around you time freezes for a moment. The darkness of the day actually dims further, and you see as the Braxet, he has his fist up, and it's closing in on you, but it's moving at an incredibly slow rate. You look up, and you look back the way you came as you hear the telltale sound of boots in a non-hurried gait. Well, can't die here yet, Tin Man. What are you doing? And you hear bang, 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 as the Braxet's hand mists. You look down the way, and you see none other than Silverliner. Well, you
kind
better...
of just sitting on the ground. I thought you were retired.
People exaggerate. He steps up to you as the Braxet's now recoiling with its missing hand in slow motion, and he reaches out a hand. Need a hand?
Don't mind if I do.
And he lifts you up. As he lets go, you see that his hand is replaced by a different hand. This one is far more delicate, seemingly made out of some sort of burnished steel. And you see as the illusion fades slowly in a black mist up his arm as his suit turns into a lacy, shadowy gown. The entirety of the image dissipates, and you see standing in front of you what looks to be of a feminine build in this long, dark cloak that's lacy at the end, and her legs actually completely dissipate into smoke. You see that under her cowl is a burnished steel face that's entirely expressionless, except for two slits of an eyes, and behind them you see a blue-white pupils burrow into you. You will do. And as you stand up, she lets go of your hand, and the dove is in your hand. Silverliner's weapon. And you hear the words in your head, leave her in action. Rock of Ball. And then she fades into nothingness. The world around you is still slowed for just the moment. And you can see behind you in the crate, there's an absurd amount of explosives.
Does time like start to return?
It's still slow. What do you do?
Kind of turn around, bring up the weapon, hand at the hammer, jump back, and I'm going to take shots at the heads of the two gentlemen on either side of the crate.
Okay, so you're jumping back past the Braxet?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to make 2 attack rolls, your ranged attack, but I want you to take a +5.
Ooh.
Okay.
So it's a +5 on top of whatever you would roll.
All right.
Save for weapon bonuses, but you don't have any +1 weapons yet.
Continue putting down the smoke. And
One second, my character sheet's giving me a hard time here.
All good.
I'm kind of just like in suspended animation as I see all this, correct?
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not even currently processing. All of this is happening in a flash. You're mid run, sort of flash style.
You were talking about him being perfectly in tune with his body and his element reflexes, even though 5 seconds ago, like, the toxin was taking its toll. So I imagine, like, he's finally, like, really getting into it, and he turns around, and his face is just like... Okay, what's the damage die on this?
You're gonna roll 3d8. Exactly.
My dude gave me a magnum.
Okay, so a 15.
And the second one?
Yep.
My mouth is getting sore.
All right. So both shots land. Roll damage for both, please.
Let's go. That was a...
That is absolutely a ludicrous amount of damage.
Wow.
So
Oh, wow.
So read
So-
the attack dice out and the damage dice.
Dude, that's 18 and 20 damage. That's 38 damage.
So that's 18 to one and 20 to the other. Dayton, I would like you to narrate how you do this.
So, like I said, I kind of imagine that I'm partially moving in slow time as well. So I get pulled up, the weapons in my hands. Just had this weird experience. I see over and I see these two troublemakers over this crate just full of explosives. We need to prevent this. 1, to make sure the tower don't fall. 2, because I don't think we're going to survive that, being as close as we are. And I need to take them out with precision and finesse. So I'm thinking, let's get out of here. Back jump. Got my hand at the hammer and just pow pow.
All right, and pow pow, and both guards drop, holes through their heads. They fall to the ground and slump, and you see that one of them is holding some sort of a device in his hand. It seems to have a button at the top, and you would assume it's some sort of a trigger for the explosives. But it's at this moment that the time starts speeding back up. You notice as the Braxit is sort of just now realizing what's happening. The other 2 guards are turning. The one of them's like turning towards Valen, like. And just completely, entirely surprised. What do you do?
Oh, uppercut to the face.
All right. So go ahead and throw your attack.
Yep.
Actually, you don't even need an attack. You nail it. He's not moving. Like, you spin
One
around
attack.
mid-move, just uppercut him. He's goes in the air a foot and then falls onto his back. Tin Man, the area is clear for you to go.
Okay, so
Let's get out of here, Tin Man, hurry.
I am going to, like I said, I'm in the middle of a sort of a mid back hop. As soon as my foot touches the ground, I'm actually going to leap forward, kind of rotundly like roll. He's got like the fattest of fat rolls.
Yeah.
Just kind of fat roll over and grab that controller, and then immediately like kind of jump back out and follow Valen.
Tumbling. It's a good skill. All right. You guys make tracks. You head off, and you're heading down to the dormitory.
As we do so, I'm kind of hopping this thing in my hand. You want to know what was in that crate? You have any idea what was in that gosh dang crate? I don't want to tell you what's in that gosh dang crate. I just kind of hand him this. Don't push that button.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it and like just keep walking.
All right. So as you guys sprint, you head down the ramp in the gymnasium area, and you realize as you get in here, and I was wrong, it was a couple of levels down, that everything is gone dark this far down. It's dark inside, aside from the waning light that is shining through whatever windows there are. Skarok and Zar, I had misspoke. You are being told to head to the simulation chamber, not the sky dock.
Okay.
So you will be able
for us to meet up at the sky dock.
Yes. You will be Are you going there with Mert and Crux, or are you going on your own?
I mean, if we're leaving at the same time as them, I don't see why we'd walk separately down the same hallway together.
Yeah. No, we'll go with the 4.
Okay. So you, the 4 of you head down. You hear as Crux is explaining the situation. It sounds like whatever happened, there was some shipment that came in today, and Crux and Tarto were down there inspecting it because Kip and Pick were up on the skydock. They weren't available. It was as they were inspecting that the entire ship exploded and took out the entire lower levels. So he even mentioned that they lost Sor Kerr, who was in administration. You see that they're both really
He's dead.
they're rather upset about that, but somehow Crux managed to survive, and he informs Mert that Tarto is in the dormitories, or not the dormitories, is in the med bay, being seen to by Blip at this moment. He refuses to say what condition she's in, but the one thing he does say, they sort of, you notice as they're walking through the hallways, they sort of pick up pace to get ahead of you a little bit, and you notice Crux looks back over his shoulder at Czar. And you would either, or what are you two doing? Are you going to try and listen in on this at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we're listening. If they're talking, yeah.
Okay. He leans in close, and he's not really trying to keep it a secret from you. He's just sort of speaking under his breath, a little conspiratorially.
This seemed to have been a two-pronged attack. It looks like they were trying to take out the Tick's notice. It's a good thing we moved it. It's the only thing keeping us upright right now.
You see Mert pull out his pocket square and dab his forehead.
So, where's the other one? We haven't located it yet. We're still looking for it.
He looks back again, and sort of, sorry, you see as he makes eye contact with you, a pained expression goes over his face, and he looks forward, straightens up, and continues walking. You can still see that his clothes are entirely torn, and the only thing keeping his pants up is his belt. But as you enter the simulation chamber, you hear Crux is leading the way, and he looks back at all of you.
It's in the easternmost simulation chamber. I think you'll want to see this. And I believe you'll recognize an old friend, Mert.
And as you enter the holodeck, you see ahead, you're in some sort of a little park, a little sitting area in this park, and you two don't need to be here. Splitting the party, yay!
I'm just waiting to see Jonathan Frakes playing the trumpet.
Yeah. All right. So as you enter, you see in the far end, it seems to be a barricade of boxes. You can see some moving bodies on the far side, but you don't see anything particular standing out. You're about 200 feet from the barricade, and you are still sort of in the foliage and coverage of the park itself, just at the entrance. So right now, you feel as though you haven't been seen yet. What would you like to do as you approach, if you approach?
We came here upon someone's request, so they got to be expecting us, right?
Crux looks forward, and he mentions, or he shakes his head.
No. They're setting something up, we believe. This might be their second attack. We don't know. We didn't approach just yet.
So Crux, you're saying these are not friendlies.
We assume hostile.
Skyrock just kind of grins. Great.
Crux meets the grin. He looks down at you. You see his wide mouth sort of splits in a half grin. You notice in the explosion, it looks like one of his tusks was busted off. But he pulls out his dual pistols.
Indeed. So, shall we go in blasting?
We shall.
Crux looks.
Scarrock, smash.
You see as Crux looks over to Mert for confirmation, and Mert reaches into his side pockets, pulls out these two immaculate golden guns with mahogany grip. You could see that they're polished to a mirror shine, and they catch the light, and they look like normal pistols, but you can see that there seems to be some sort of enchantment on them that sort of causes a smoke to gently float out of the barrel.
The man with two golden guns.
Here we go.
And Crux charges.
Yeah, right behind him.
Yep, and I will need
Absolutely.
both of you to make your what was it?
Roll initiative.
Thank you. Words are escaping me today for some reason.
Roll for
Now you're
initiative,
good.
boys.
15.
Let's go.
21.
Let's
Very
go.
nice.
Bang,
Scarrock's
bang.
getting over those dice blues.
Mhm.
Cool.
Get in there with that 20 initiative.
All right.
I know. Like,
Finally, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the dice are finally working for you. All right, Scarrock, lead us off.
and you said we don't see really anything going on up front, right?
You see that there are moving bodies ahead, but they're on the other side of the barrier, so you cannot get a clear look.
Okay.
Just do it. Don't think about it. Do it.
Just go all in.
Yeah, no, I am going to move up 30 feet. Yeah, but wow, I think my stuff is lagging really hard.
It's all good.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm going to I'm actually going to kind of move up slowly and try and not draw attention just so I can get an idea of what we're seeing. But yeah, anything up there?
So as you approach, you can see they don't seem to be really hiding. You can see that there are two GIF on Overwatch. And at the far end, holding something in her hand, looking around impatiently, you see a Rygar. She seems to be wearing like a dark black and blue captain's uniform, and her hair is short and like bob cut, and you can see the glory around her sort of makes it look like there's a nighttime space effect around her, like the glory itself sort of elicits an area of darkness around her head, and there's little twinkling spotlights of pink and white and yellow and red and blue as they sort of undulate and make colors. I believe I do not have a shoot. I thought I had a handout for that. I'm sorry.
No. I would recognize this from one of my friends. Correct? Like
Correct.
her. Okay.
Yes.
Does it look like her?
No.
Okay. I will whisper back with finger signals. 2 GIF on the boxes, 1 Rhaegar at the front.
You see Mert respond with a nod. He relays the message to Czar and Crux. Goodness. And he gives you a thumbs up. And Czar, you notice as Mert looks over at you and motions to the far side and seems to be trying to set up some sort of a pincer attack. But then you see as he looks at Crux and just goes, and you see Crux, pull his hat on a little tighter and pull out a grenade from his pouch and give a nod. What are you going to do, Czar? Or are you doing anything else, Scarrock?
Yeah. I am going to pull out my returning spear that I got back from Tin Man and make a spear attack, which, oh, dang it, I don't have one set up real quick. Let me just roll that.
What do we got?
Ooh.
All right, I'm just basically gonna roll my glaive attack and just do roll spear damage. So that's a 10.
Okay. And what were you striking at again?
The gif on the right.
Okay. So your spear sticks into one of the boxes,
It
and
snaps
then
back. Snaps back.
it dissipates into that golden filigree, and then gravitates back to your hand.
Yep.
The Czar Crux leans over and hands you one of his grenades before you take off. Are you doing anything else, Skarok?
Nope, that's it.
Alrighty, Czar, what are you gonna do?
Actually, no. Bonus action. I'm gonna hunter's mark the Rhaegar.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I gotta ask, what does his hunter's mark look like? Because that's one of those just generic. That's the ranger damage bump spell. What does it look like for you?
Yes.
So for Skarok, it looks like a patch of moss. Because of like when he turns into his tree, he puts the hunter's mark on it, but it looks almost like a iridescent, bioluminescent teal moss that kind of grows over the back of the person.
Okay.
All right.
So like a moss cape sort of deal. I like that.
Mhm.
All right. Czar.
All right.
Let's do it, buddy.
Well, the grenade definitely changed my game plan.
As they do.
That tends to happen.
I'm gonna come up on this wall, and what do you want me to roll to lob that grenade at this gif right over here?
So you're gonna go ahead. You got 60 feet to play with this guy, and it's gonna explode in a 20-foot radius. You've dealt with grenades before, so you would know that. And you don't actually have to. Well, I'm gonna have you roll a straight dexterity check just to see how well you throw it, but there's no attack involved.
Come on. Shit.
I got a 17.
All right.
Sorry,
So
I-
yeah,
Stormy.
where would you like to place it?
Right into that dude's face.
So you want to drop it right on this guy?
I think
Yeah.
in his face. Like he.
I want to hit him right in the mouth.
All right. So you chuck it, and you chuck it hard enough that it actually connects and gets wedged in the grating of his mask, and it explodes. I want you to roll 5d6 damage, because you don't really make a dexterity saving throw when thing blows up in your face.
All right. What do we got? 12.
Okay. You see, as there seems to be a moment of panic as his entire body tenses and his hands come up, dropping his sword. And then he pulls a hand over and covers it. It explodes, and then he grabs the shrapnel and throws it down on the ground and picks his sword back up and pushes through these two boxes to approach you.
I'm way less enthused about this fight.
You can see as he steps through the smoke that his helmet has been blown off, and you can see his left eye is bloodied, and you can see like the blood coming down his face, and you can actually see where the slots of the visor where the shrapnel got through and stuck into his mouth. So you can actually see the lines in the side of his face. He looks extremely upset. You see sort of the engine power on his back start to spew steam out from him. What are you gonna do with the rest of your turn?
I think that's gonna be about it. Actually, if he's looking at me, I would like to use my chameleon carapace to maybe try to blend into the rock wall.
All right, go ahead and make a hide check for me.
Oh shit.
What do we got? Give me something good. 18.
All right.
Nice.
So he's looking for you, and you can see that because he's missing an eye now, he doesn't seem to be very able to look around too
Perceptive?
well. Yeah, he doesn't see that well right now, especially stepping out of the smoke. And you manage to sort of fade into the stones and use your carapace to, all but disappear.
Good. He tanked that grenade to the face, and I'm a little upset.
I'm terrified.
You think you're upset? He just tanked a grenade. You might want to run.
All right. So as you finish your turn, Mert is going to step up and he's going to start letting his pistols bark. And you see as he takes 2 shots, boom, boom, and a 20 and a 12. The first one lands and actually catches him in the other eye. And the second shot goes wide and pings off his armor, and Mert's like, oh, dang it. And he throws the second gun to the side, which goes off again as he throws it. And he pulls out from the leg of his pants, he pulls out a tube of metal and lifts it to the other GIF and then hits a button on the top. You see an explosion go out the back, and what looks like a long, like football-sized grenade shoot forward and completely annihilate. Let me get the right color here. All of this right here. So that is all rubble right now. But he managed to make a dodge and jump back. Did he? Yes, he managed to make his dodge and jump back.
Pardon my reference back to the 70s here, but this feels like a City Hunter or a Lupin the Third skit. I'm going to be honest.
It does.
So Mert lets it fall off his shoulder, and that is his turn. You see Crux actually sprint. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. Perfect. And since he sprinted, he can't do any more actions, but he is in threat range. So Zara, you feel a little safer knowing that you've got the big wall of GIF in front of you. And we're back to Skarok. Zara, you're up next.
All right, seeing the rubble get blasted in front of me, as the spear snaps back to his hands, Skarok, almost on all fours, just kind of charges up through the rubble of the barrel. By the time he gets there, he pulls out his glaive, and with his natural extra reach, he's going to attack the GIF right in front of him. 15. All right, and that's it.
All right. Now that I am hidden, I'm gonna creep on up a little closer. You said he was hit in the other eye? Alright, I'm gonna take a jab at him with my rapier here. Kind of take a poke at him with an 18.
That lands.
Alright. Let's hit for 7 damage.
All right, so you can see as the grenade itself blew off his helmet, and the rest of his armor looks pretty damaged and cracked. So it doesn't seem quite as difficult to find purchase with your rapier. You managed to slide your sword in to one of the cracks and get a really good gut shot on him.
Nice.
What else are you doing with your turn?
That is going to be it for me.
Alrighty. You can actually see through some of the cracks of armor that there seems to be actual blood starting to pour out of these. You look like you believe you've damaged them more than you think you have. With the grenade.
Kill it.
Awesome.
All right. And that was your turn?
Yep, that's it for me.
All right. So at this moment, you see the Rygar step forward, and she lifts a hand toward Mert. And fires off 2 shots from her hand. One of them you see is all right, you only have to roll. I got to roll one more. Sorry.
No, you don't.
Man,
You
my
don't.
dice are on fire tonight. Let's go.
You really don't.
So she raises a hand, and you see as the stars in her glory start to intensify, and then 3 red shots fire out of the stars and all strike Mert in the chest. They send him flying back 5, 10, 15, 20 feet and prone. You hear him groan as he rolls over, like, "Oh, that's not playing nice." He uses his
Not
half.
wrong.
He uses half of his turn to stand up, or half his movement to stand up, and then reapproach. He still has hold of his gun, and he's going to pop another shot. 2 shots, rather.
The man takes that and the. Okay, no.
Let's go, Mert.
Um,
Hard body Mert.
the old wolf, and he pulls out his gun, fires another shot, lands on the Rygar, who yelps in surprise. And it is back to you, Skarok.
All right.
Oh, it's Crux, but go ahead. I'll do Crux next.
No. Good. Let Crux go.
Okay. Crux is going to he's going to pull out his last grenade, and he's going to grab the chest on the armor of the other guy, and he's going to just chuck it down the armor, push him back, and grab Czar, and then jump back a ways. Just sort of, yeah. So he's going to sort of land half on top of you as the explosion goes off behind you. As you stand up, you see what is now a crater.
What used to be a gift.
Yes. But you also see that Crux isn't moving.
Oh no.
You can actually see the chest plate of the armor of the other GIF is embedded in Crux's back right now.
Ooh, that's a big boom.
Ooh. Skarok, your turn.
Not my guy, Crux.
All right. And you, Mert's opening up on the Rhaegar, right?
Correct.
All right. And see, I'm taking note of this. With the 2 between, I'm gonna climb out of the rubble into the middle, and yeah, bonus action, tree time.
It's tree time.
It's tree time. It's arboring time.
It's
Yeah.
arboring time.
It's arboring.
And as Skarok goes into his tree form, I think that's a great time for us to take a break for the really quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll be
So
right
we're gonna
back,
take-
guys.
Yep. Well, you're going to take 5. We'll be back shortly.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. We're still missing Day, so we'll give him another minute.
All right.
But actually, it's not his scene.
Yeah, go ahead.
Skarok, you just turned into a tree.
It's
Yes.
arboring.
Arboring time.
It's arboring time.
Please let that be the name of this episode.
You already know.
So I'm gonna look at the Rhaegar in front of us and just say, "You're going to find I'm not all bark," and I'm gonna attack her with the glaive.
And just for our new viewers, maybe people that didn't catch last week's episode, what exactly happened in your arboring time here?
So yes, you see Skarok kind of switch from his canine form. His skin starts to harden, and you see him grow to about 30 feet tall, and his arms turn into these wicked scythe-like branches, and his kind of fur expands out, and he turns into a gigantic tree with a snarling face, like you'd see in your like kid horror stories, like the little tree. He's got a snarling face.
Yeah, like the trees in the Wizard of Oz and all that.
Yes, yes.
I'm sorry, but can we just go back to the line? I think you'll find I'm not all bark. Like, like that is straight out of the original X-Men movie. I'm sorry. What happens to a toad that gets struck by lightning? The same as everything else. I think you'll find I'm not all bark.
Exactly.
Yes.
Bad joke. So.
All right. So it's a bugbear that turns into a tree. So.
Yeah, it is a 13, and I forget, does Hunter's Mark give me advantage on that?
That's...
I think Hunter's Mark just increases your damage.
So, actually 13 lands. She's not wearing armor.
Oh, all right, then, yeah, that will be...
I feel that.
8 plus 1d6 from my tree form, and then 1d, so let's be 2d6 for an extra 7, so 15 damage.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Let me do a little math. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, I'm done. So yeah, Skark turns into a tree, and he brings the kind of scythes down with his branch-like arm, and just catches her right in the ribs.
All right. So as you're making your attack, you realize, or you notice, on her uniform there is an insignia on the chest. It is made of a mixture of gold and silver, and it looks to be not quite a coat of arms, but it's circular with 2 crossed sabers with curving ends, and between them is a star. The star specifically is the part that's made of gold, while the rest of it is made of some silver or steel. You do manage to land the attack, and you see as the attack lands, she seemed to have readied a reaction, and she pulls up some sort of device and clicks. Tin Man and Valen, behind you, I want both of you to make dexterity saving checks, please.
All right. Damn,
Okay.
I rolled a 5.
No.
So from behind you, you're about 50 feet away at this point, and the entire school shakes once more, and the ground beneath you starts to give. Tin Man, you launch yourself forward to avoid falling, but as you do so and you glimpse over your shoulder, you can see that where you just were, where the Braxat was, still holding the stump of his arm, is now engulfed in a tube of flame that just shoots out over the water and completely annihilates that entire portion of the school. And those of you that are in combat right now, see the back wall completely disintegrate in an explosion.
Oh,
Damn.
So you were here. Here.
yeah. Can you double my size?
Yes.
Oh.
I wasn't sure exactly.
I told you not to press that button.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like I didn't press it, dude. It's right here. And then I'm looking to see if I actually pressed it, getting really close to pressing it. I don't think I pressed it.
Or did I?
I'm just gonna set it down.
Just leave it on a curb somewhere. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Maybe some of the students will find it.
What's the worst that could happen?
It's like throwing grenades in the river. All right. So the Scarrock goes big, but Scarrock, you don't need to make a check for this. Czar, you're already prone with Crux. So they all need to make dexterity saving throws. All right. So you see having been prepared for it, the Rygar manages to stand aground. The GIF near you, Skarok, doesn't, or managed to hold his ground, and then you hear a yelp and a groan from the trees. Where the heck is he? There he is.
The trees. They're in the trees.
The trees are alive.
As you hear "Oh man, that hurt!" as Tony shows up. He
Tony!
sort of floats over the wall here, out of the foliage. I wanted to help earlier, but I only help with the tests. You need a hand?
Yes, Tony.
Cool. Call out the target, just like you did last time.
I'm gonna point right to that chick who just pressed the button. Say right in between the boxes.
He's bad.
Got it. You see as he brings all of his tendrils to bear, and every one of them fires one after another. Most of them seem to miss or hit the boxes nearby, and you see his boxes have started teleported all over the place. But after a moment, the last one finally hits her, and she's teleported back here.
Tony!
That's all I can do!
Tony, you could have teleported her out over the water.
Back to the start! The water's not the start!
Damn it, don't.
For those of us who don't remember, Tony is like a tiny beholder.
No, he's a full-size beholder. He's a spectator.
A spectator. He's a spectator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
I'm just a spectator.
Well, the battle layout has gotten worse, guys.
Ah.
Right. So Skarok, that was your turn. General Czar. Or did you have anything else to go, Skarok? I'm sorry.
No. That's it. I used my bonus action to turn into a tree.
Gotcha. All right. Sorry, Czar. Go ahead.
All right, I'm gonna scurry out from underneath Crux, and I'm going to try to pull the piece of armor out of his back.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics check at advantage because he's not moving.
Pretty sure you're supposed to leave that in.
Nah, he's a pirate. He knows what he's doing.
16.
He's a pirate. He's got medical back.
Yeah, they got like lemons for scurvy and stuff.
Yeah, she gets it.
Yeah.
You realize that it's jammed into his back pretty heavily, but you manage to rock it back and forth, and you don't see any blood come out. And when you finally wrench it free, you realize that it was only about an inch in, but it was a wider portion of it. And GIF have a very thick hide and a very thick layer of fat. So it doesn't seem to bleed at all. It seemed to have been just enough to push him over the edge, and he is laying there unconscious at the moment.
I'm gonna hit him with lay on hands.
Okay,
And I'm gonna tell Crux that Crux, you cannot die on me here.
Literally, since he fell on you. All right, so go ahead and roll your healing for lay on hands. And
It's just that.
oh, well, what does it look like?
As I rip it out, and I'm gonna put my hands down on the wound, and they glow.
Okay. You see
Like
as
a
the
lightning bug?
Like a lightning bug.
yes, the glow permeates the portion of the wound, and you see as it fades, it sort of zips together, the wound, and you actually see some of the debris stuck in his shoulder pop out and fall out as well, and you actually notice his belt glow a tad, and you see that it seems that your healing was a little more effective than you thought it was.
I'm good at what I do.
You hear him groan.
It's like being hit by a spelljammer itself.
Oh, thank God.
He rolls over on his
You
back.
can't die here. We have to go out for drinks after this.
He rolls over on his back and sort of stares at the sky, the fake sky above him for a moment.
Pulls out a
He
drink.
blinks. He blinks his eyes, and he's like, he hears "go out for a drink," and he sort of comes to, "Oh, right," and he hops back up to standing, pulls out his gun again, and starts firing. He fires first shot. Let's see if he hits anything.
I am gonna stand with him.
Okay. He just fires 2 into the air.
Oh, right. Crux, my guy. They're not there. No. She's over there. Tony transported her to the start. Thanks, Tony.
Crux has only been out for about 5 seconds, and things have drastically changed on him.
The tree's there.
There's a hole in the wall. There's a tree. Tony's here. The Rygar's in a different spot. He's standing, and he looks over to you. He's like,
How long was I out?
Like 5 seconds.
Goodness. Well, let's be about it.
that's
and-
That's
right.
my Crux. Let's go.
It's like Crux has never seen me as a tree.
Yeah. There was the moment when he stepped in, he might have seen you, but you were already in the midst of detransforming. But all right, Zara, is there anything else you're doing with your turn?
Nope, that is it for me.
All right. Mert. Oh, I didn't move him over. Give me 2 seconds to get Mert.
It's Arboring time.
Mert is confused for a moment about where the Rygar had gone. And so you see him reach into his belt and chuck something. He takes a few steps forward and chucks it over at the boxes here. And you see as they all start to light on fire, as it seems to be through an alchemist fire.
Oh, very nice.
Not the boxes, but the rubble there. Czar, you... Oh, no, not just yet. Sorry. Okay, so Mert chucks the alchemist fire over. You hear the gifts start to yell in panic, Scarrock, as, you know, heavy armor doesn't really take well to high temperatures. And he finally turns around to look at the other Rygar, and that'll be his turn. Scarrock, it's your go.
So yeah, the gift next to me is standing in fire. You said yes.
Correct.
I shall try to skewer him and keep him in said fire.
Alrighty.
Dude, it was almost a natural 20. I swear that is a 7.
So the you go to make your spear, but you realize the fire's a little close, and that makes you panic a little bit, and you whiff. You also hear something behind you from outside of the school. Czar, from your position, you see there seems to be a ship sort of moving in to the air open spot on the wall here, and it looks to be some sort of a living ship. You don't recognize it or what it could be. It looks to be some sort of large beetle of sorts with a heavy chitin around it. One of the wings lifts, and you're astounded for a moment to see yourself standing on a ledge of chitin just underneath the wing. It seems to be a natural standing spot for those looking around the living ship itself, sort of an outer ledge. And you hear your voice call into your mind and presumably everybody else in the area. I am Dread Captain Czar, and you will cease this fighting and release my bosun to me.
Czar, I have questions.
Czar has questions.
Are either of you going to do anything?
I guess I'll telepathically commune back. Say, no, I'm General Czar, and you will cease this impudent charade.
You
What,
see...
what does Thrycreen jaw dropping look like?
He just predator mouths.
No!
Which is the same face I made when that dude tanked the grenade to the face.
Hearing your voice or in their head, their attention immediately turns to you, and you see him look over his shoulder and reach back to the beetle, and you see one of its legs sort of hunkers up into its body and then turns, and you see that there seems to be an opening in one of the legs, and it fires.
I should have kept my mouth shut.
That was the wrong decision.
That was terrible.
Crux attempts to make a leap to get away, having seen the same thing, and he manages to jump about 10 feet and then is blown into the trees.
I just healed you, Crux.
Sent ragdolling in the trees.
I'm imagining some old Halo 3 graphics.
He lands on his face, and then his hips just turn 90 degrees, like the old Halo.
Oh, he's Scorpion.
And I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I can do that.
Lower than a 5 you ragdoll. You almost ragdolled!
Oh.
You take the hit and take 18 fire damage directly to the chest, and you are sent.
I am disgusted for you.
Mid-air, as I'm cartwheeling through
4,
the air.
5, 6 back.
As I'm cartwheeling through the air, I'm gonna say, did I say General Czar? I meant General Bar. Wrong guy.
Admiral
Wrong guy.
So the cannon lands and it reduces all of these boxes into rubble as well. So there are no actual boxes left on the map. Scarrock, you are just out of range of this. Like, it missed you by a hair's breadth. The explosion rattles your leaves and like singes your bark a little bit. And you see as another one of the legs starts to move, getting ready to fire another salvo.
All right, where is this thing?
Just outside. It's not quite on the map, but it's in the opening that was exploded. It was blown out.
Okay.
I'll just use this as a save
What?
for the moment.
Yo, that's huge. All right.
Not gonna say it. Not gonna say it. Don't say it. We're family friendly here.
So what are you gonna do, Zar? Or Scarrock?
Cry.
It's about to
Cry
fire
is what Czar's
again.
doing.
It looks like it's getting ready to fire again.
Can
You
I
know,
pick up
Dylan,
the?
I
Can
think
I
we
pick-
made the right choice.
I think so.
Can I pick up the GIF and use him as a shield?
You lost it. Yes. Go ahead and make a melee attack,
All right.
and I will allow you to move him if you manage to hit.
That's
'Cause that's how
8.
grapples work.
Just lost Josh 1 second.
Okay. Man, what is with Streamlabs tonight? Because it's
Yeah.
happened to 3 of us now.
Yeah, a few times. All good, guys. I'll bring him back 1 second.
Yep.
Yeah, that's an 8. I miss. Wow.
You're realizing, Scarrock, that you've put yourself into a middle of a literal war zone and then made yourself a bigger target.
Seeing that, can
I
you
just
shrink
fear-
me? Can you shrink me down, please? I am going to resume bonus action. I'm going to reduce myself and
You know what? I'm going to counterspell your bonus action.
I hear the Super Mario hit noise. You.
There he is.
Oh, got it. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to
There
shrink.
you go.
Yep. You're going to go back
Actually,
to normal size.
you know what? Hang on a second. Can I retcon that? I just thought of something even better.
Yes.
I'm going to stay as a tree.
Okay.
I'm going to say, Tony, shoot me.
As you do so, he looks up and he shoots you. Almost in reaction to hearing a sound very loud, one tendril turns and teleported back.
And that's the end of my turn.
I mean, you're not in the middle of that cluster anymore, so...
Hang on, what'd Scarak do? What did I miss when I blipped out?
He realized he was in a bad place.
Yeah.
Hey, you
And fixed it.
Czar, you remember the first test we did, and I told Tony to shoot me?
I saw that. I just saw that. You did that
Yeah.
as I came back in.
That was it. Basically, I
Okay.
stayed as a tree and I told Tony to shoot me.
Okay.
All right, and you're back to the
I'm
beginning. So, all right, so go, Zara, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna wipe the tears
You
and
Thry-Kreen cry.
This is what it sounds like.
I think it's like honey. If I have enough pollen, I just cry honey.
Make him cry. Get something for your breakfast.
Hey,
God, oh, that hurt. That hurt a lot.
Yeah, it's almost like these guys aren't messing around.
It's almost as if you took a ship's main battery to the face.
To the chest. Right to the chest. Dead center. Tony
Right in the
Stark
chest.
style.
Yep.
hey, Mark.
Yes, sir.
Do we see the Admiral Czar on the deck of the ship?
You do see Dread Captain Czar.
Okay. How far can Tony shoot?
You're not sure.
Tony! Shoot the guy standing on the ship.
So Tony just used an action, but the guy on the ship heard you.
Ah, shit.
Tony!
No, he didn't. I telepathed it right to Tony.
Okay, that's fair. You telepathed it right to
I
Tony.
can't speak out loud.
That's right.
Yes, saved.
Tony looks up, and the ship is actually, like, I'm using that as an image, but it's much further away. But Tony takes his move up as close as he can get. No, it's too far away. Check out this, though. And he
Don't
hits
shoot the ship.
this GIF. Yeah, the whole ship. He shoots this GIF, and it lands next to you, Scarrock. And that'll be
Hey, watch this!
that'll be the second part of his attack.
It's such a little kid thing.
So the Zara, are you doing anything else with your turn? You've used your movement. You haven't done anything else.
I have not used my movement.
Oh, you haven't. That's right.
I haven't moved. But I think I'm gonna dart into those trees and help Crux back out here.
All right. All right. You see that Crux is laying next to one of the trees that he was thrown through. You can see that he went through the bulk of a tree, and he's sort of laying there. He's moving, trying to push himself
Thank God.
up.
I don't have more healing here. I don't have more lay on hands.
He's moving, but he looks quite a bit worse for wear. Like he's struggling just to get up to hands and knees right now. You can see that mixed with like a pink slurry of saliva and blood is sort of pouring out of his mouth. And I think that's a good time because I realize I've neglected you guys too long to go back to Valen and Tin Man.
All right.
All right, so
right. I was enjoying it.
It was a show.
That was eventful.
You guys are heading down towards the dormitory. As you get past the ramp area there, and you get into the gymnasium, you realize that it is now very dark. There is no light in here save for what is filtering through the windows. That said, you don't see or hear anything currently. What would you like to do as you continue?
I have dark vision, so I'm able to make my way.
He said it. That's the word of the day.
I have dark vision. Dark vision, the frog here. But anyway, so you have dark vision, so you can see perfectly fine up to 30 feet or 60 feet.
Yeah.
Carry on.
It's still shades of gray.
Yep.
What about, Tin Man, I'll let you say it, but I'm going to move through towards the barracks and try to find my bunk in my footlocker.
All right. As you're getting closer to the southern part of the tower, the lean seems to be affecting things even worse now, but you actually start hearing people. You get into the dormitory area, and you can see hiding around the corner is a bunch of students. Among them is Miken, who is watching around for anyone to come up this or come down the stairs from the gym. You narrowly duck as a crossbow bolt hits the wall next to your head, and then you hear one of the students go, "No, you idiot! That's Tin Man and Valen!"
Lower your weapons, and I'm gonna kind of like burst through. Guard the door.
Miken snaps a salute. "Yes, sir," and pulls up his crossbow.
I'm gonna salute him back. Am I able to locate my footlocker after all these explosions?
Yes, so you get into the dormitory and you see that everything is shaken quite a bit. Everything is an absolute mess. Tin Man, you find your rifle quite easily as it stands out. Valen, your pack is very different from everyone else's. They have general issue. You have something that was made by your wife. And that also stands out.
Nice.
So the nice leafy sort of canvas green bag stands out. But yes, so you find your stuff perfectly fine.
I like to think it's got "Go Valen Go" stitched onto the front of it.
I believe in you. World's best.
It's really
shoot
worn.
for the stars.
It's really worn now, but it's very sentimental. What do I find in my bag? Do I find
You find all of your gear. You find your armor's there, your weapons are there, everything. Same with you, Tin Man. All of your gear is there.
I'm gonna put on my armor and then prepare for to leave. And as I'm getting it all on, I'm gonna tell the guys, stay here, guard the dorms. As people come back, protect them and offer them aid, and then throw my armor on.
Aye, aye. And as you're giving orders, you actually hear from the kitchen in the prefectory another voice giving orders. It's a feminine voice that sounds strained, almost like they're losing their voice. But you hear Ryback call back an affirmation, and a moment later you see Tarto limp out of the kitchens and into the dormitory hallway. You can see that almost an entire half of her face, sort of like a 3/4, is completely shorn of hair. There's you can see like the skin is still a little melty from the burn. You see that on the other side she still has her cigar, but almost her entire body is wrapped in bandages of some sort. You can see the bleeding through from the burn scars, and she soldiers on. She keeps moving, and she continues to give out orders. And when she comes up to you, you see one arm is sort of strapped across her chest so it doesn't move, the side that was on the explosion, and the other one comes up to touch her face, and she says, "Someone who will be honest with me. How bad is it?"
It's not great. You should rest.
Just as beautiful as ever.
Tin Man kind of leans in over to one of the other students. That I still kind of find her attractive.
And I'm gonna put my armor on her shoulder and try to get her seated down and resting, and then tell her to rest up. It's gonna be a long night.
She resists your attempt to sit her down. She takes the help, but she doesn't sit down. "No. You, 4, and some of the students here, we have a mission for you. It is important. Please come with me to the Skydock, and then I promise I will rest."
Well, lead the way, soldier.
And she continues moving, and as she walks past some of the students. She sees and points out, you're with me." And you see she's picked Miken's group. Miken, Fred, and Cricklet, the Thrycreen. And she starts moving. She starts heading back up out of the gymnasium, up, taking the alternate route up through the simulation chamber into the officer's mess and then to the Skydock, instead of the ramp outside. And you're on your way up there now. Are either of you doing anything or asking anything as you're going?
No, I'm kind of like strapping in my armor. Now that I'm finally back in it, making sure it's all tight, ready to go.
Tin Man's definitely asking questions. So, just what turned this into a Gith Yankee shard show?
Gith Yankee. Oh,
Sorry.
the dignitaries.
It's an expression. Help me understand why this is happening.
We aren't sure. But we have reason to believe it is from one of Mert's rivals in the Great Belt. A man named Vokath. He is a Mercane of considerable wealth and influence in the belt. We have been attempting... What's that?
Mert's been running this show for a while now, hasn't he? Why is he only just now attacking?
Because we've only just broken into the belt. We've set up small schools, and he doesn't like that.
So he's sending a message straight home.
Yes. And I would refrain from calling this home anymore. Once you are back from your mission, we are leaving. All of us.
And where are we going?
To the belt. It's our last bastion.
I get behind this big time. This place is really garbage. The food's terrible here. There's not even a salad bar.
There is, in the officer's mess.
What?
No one told us that.
No one asked.
I'm just looking up at Valen like...
Should have
Regardless.
asked. Should have asked. There's no stupid
Far off
questions,
of branch
Tin Man.
rattles in Skarrock's branch rattles.
So you're talking a mass evacuation.
An exodus, yes.
Do you got the resources to make that happen with this thing tilting 15 degrees west?
You see the first moment of mirth cross her face as the uncharred side of her face cracks into a grin.
We do. We have a secret weapon. It's a thing called the Tix Notice.
Really now?
Normally, it would be kept at the bottom to keep this thing standing. But we moved it to the simulation chambers to be safer, to hide it. It's why the center simulation chamber hasn't been used. It's under construction.
Well, I think it's about to have its first field test, whatever it is.
It's already working. That's why we haven't fallen.
I think I'm starting to understand. Then we're going to want to get there rather quick.
The Tix Notice stays. We leave, you leave, and then we will leave when you return.
So
Let
we
us
got
handle
time
that.
on it here.
You do. And what you do is of utmost importance, but we cannot speak of it here. We will speak when we are with Mert and Crux and Ryback catches up.
After you, then.
And she continues the walk upwards towards the sky docks. The other two of you, the two of you continue up past the simulation deck, and you can hear the sounds of combat still happening in the simulation chamber. What would you like to do?
I'm going in. I'm kicking the door open and going in guns blazing. Ain't no way I'm sitting this one out.
I see Valen just dart off, and I'm like, wait. Isn't that where Skarrock and Zara went?
Exactly. Keep up, short legs.
All right. The moment you enter the simulation deck, directly in front of you, you see a 30-foot tall tree with teal leaves swinging scythe hands at people. And in front of them is a heavily armored Gif and a Rygar in a captain's uniform. You are both within 10 feet. What would you like to do?
Does the
You
tree
get a surprise round.
look evil? Like, is it mad at me?
The last time you saw it, it was, go ahead and make an insight check.
All right.
Skarrock, I would like you to make a,
Valan, shoot the purple lady!
That's good. That's good. Okay, I rolled it.
the tree calls your name. You get the feeling it might be Skarrock.
Yeah, I'm going to
And
pull
it
up.
might not be mad.
I'm going to pull out my laser pistol and pull out my flamethrower and hit them both at the same time.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attacks. And one of them's a dexterity save, correct?
Yes.
And who are you hitting with the flamethrower, or does it hit both of them?
It'll hit. It's a cone. It's going to hit both.
Okay.
And I don't have my laser pistol in my inventory yet, so I'm just going to do a light crossbow for now.
Oh, good.
Oh, that's. Oh, I have it in here. Okay, cool. Roll. Okay, it's not rolling. I apologize. It's a D20.
Do you have dice with you?
4. Yeah.
Okay. So do a manual.
Right click on it and hit roll. I had the same issue. If I clicked on it, it wouldn't roll.
It's gonna be a 22.
Alrighty, that definitely lands.
And that's gonna be 3d6.
And they each rolled an 11 and a 2 for their dex save for the flamethrower.
So he's gonna take 12 damage from the laser pistol, and then let's see, how did we roll the?
I think it was just 2d6 fire damage.
Okay. For now, that's what I'm gonna do. I'll double check later. So another 6 of fire damage coming out of a cone that's on my shoulder.
Gotcha. All right. So that strikes both of them. It lights them both up. They take their damage. Are you doing anything else?
No, that's basically my turn. I kick in basically the door. I see the tree, and without a hesitation, I just start blasting anything that's moving that I've never seen before.
I just started blasting.
Just letting go.
Alrighty. And did you roll
it's
your
just one shot, but at the same time, the same energy as if it was like multiple.
Yeah, you're walking in with a Tommy gun.
Yeah.
So yeah, you fire your pistol. Did you roll for your pistol?
Yeah, I did. That was going to be 12 damage with the pistol, and then 6 damage from the flamethrower.
Got it. All right, so your pistol hits her well and true, and then the flamethrower torches both of them because it's a cone. The gift seems to be swinging around with a sword, attempting to hit anything as he's, there's flames coming up around him. And the Rygar seems more annoyed than anything. Tin Man, you still have a surprise action. What would you like to do? You're 10 feet away, not 5, so that you're not actually directly in threat range right now. You're muted.
I see that now. No, as I was saying, that depends on whose threat range you're talking about.
Not Scarox. You're not in the GIF or the Rygar's threat range.
Oh. But they're in mine. So, how close to me is Valen right now?
Valen's within 5 feet.
Okay. Am I within his general view?
Yep.
Okay. So Valen, you actually get to see this. Tin Man pulls out this rifle. You saw him pick it up in the barracks, but it was dark. It was hard to see. It's this ancient, rusty-looking old thing. You can sort of see where it's got this filigree engravings, but it's so tarnished. It's so chipped up. And what's crazy is that like almost the bottom half of the barrel is entirely rusted out. It's like there's really only the top half of the barrel. But he holds onto it, and he takes aim, and kind of seeping out from the bottom of the barrel is almost like stardust, almost like red-shifted, old, rusty nebula dust. He kind of looks at you for a minute. I call her Stargrazer.
You were packing that big thing this whole time?
And I'm going to go ahead and take my shot.
Yep. Who are you
Where
firing
were you
at?
keeping that?
He just picked it up in the dorm.
Her maiden shot, not looking great. 8.
Ouch.
Well, you didn't roll the right way, Dayton. You got your bullets.
I unfortunately do not have that set up at the moment.
Oh,
We're going to have to
all
make
right.
use of that. I've got some special die for Stargrazer that we're going to use in the future, I promise,
If
guys.
you have it with you now, I'd let you roll it right now and tell me what your bonuses are.
All right. So, for our folks at home,
Is are
let
gonna
me
be
introduce
loud.
you to the chamber.
Yes.
Chamber of Commerce.
Those are bullet dice.
They are.
Let them
Cool.
let them roll.
That's awesome.
And you get a +6 to whatever you roll.
D20. See what we get.
Honor system.
It's a 20. Holy shit.
That's a 14. Dirty 20.
Nice.
Oh,
All right.
nice.
It lands. Do you want to describe how it fires?
So, like I said, it almost looks like it's rusted out the bottom half, but as I hold it and I focus my energy into it, it kind of starts to seep out this rusted, red, sparkling nebula. It's almost not too far off from the spear that Skarok was using, but it's a different color, it's a different texture. And then suddenly, he pulls the trigger, and it sounds like a regular
Rifle.
powder gun, but you see this effect, like the whole nebula dust just boom, it just creates this shockwave down the barrel.
Nice.
So anyways, that's a D12
Mhm.
plus 4, so I'm going to go ahead and roll that with my D12 here. And that's a 7, very nice, plus 4, so 11.
All right. And who are you hitting?
I'm striking the Rygar.
Okay. So 7, you said?
Yes.
All right. So you fire your shot, and she's literally being shot from almost all sides at this point. Let's see here. Sorry, I got to do some quick maths.
Quick maths.
All right. Let's see.
Oh,
All right.
and I'm so sorry. I forgot. I'm a monk. I'm going to
are-
use my bonus action for Kensei shot, and I get to add a D4 to that.
Ah, do it.
Ooh.
Nice.
That's a 3. So
All
for
right.
a total of 14.
Dang.
Very nice.
Use that more often. Those dice hit.
Slap.
All right.
Hit like a 44 Magnum.
So both of you see and Skarok, you get to see this from firsthand. Both of them burst in the door and immediately start firing. It's like one of those buddy cop films. Like Tin Man goes low, Valen goes high, and they just start firing. They both just like lead and not lead, but magical bullets and fire just torches both of them. You see as the Rygar you were helping Crux, so your turn is over, correct, Sar?
Yep.
All right. You see as it comes around, the Rygar turns. She seems shocked that suddenly there are more people, and she looks up to the ship. And as it prepares to fire, you hear her mutter something under her breath, and a portal opens up in front of her, and she steps through.
Tony! Tony!
Bring her back, Tony.
And
We're not done with her.
you're not sure where she went.
Damn it.
She's definitely on the ship.
Actually, Mark.
Actually, yes.
Yeah. My hunter's mark. I should know where she is.
Yep. And she's on the ship.
Oh.
You could see her standing next to Dread Captain Czar.
Coward.
Tony.
Too far. I'm sorry.
And Scar, is that?
Oh. 1 second. We lost absolutely everyone. 1 second.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah.
Yep.
1 second.
I say the stream's still running.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not in it.
Everyone's back in a little bit of different position, but that's okay. Alex, you're the DM now.
Aw, Alex got
Alright.
the DM spot.
All right, Alex.
But
Take-
we're almost done with tonight's session, so I'd rather just push through instead of fix it all.
Yep. So the your hunter's mark pings you to let you know that she is standing on the ship right next to the Dread Captain Czar, or the self-proclaimed. And the GIF is just sort of standing there, realizing he's been abandoned. And you see as he unlimbers the greatsword on his back and just sort of seems resigned about what he's got to do.
Like, all right, 3, 4, 5 against 1. Let it be a fight.
And he swings at you, Valen.
I give the man credit.
And he connects with a 22 with his great sword.
Ow.
But he's still coated in fire and stumbling a little bit, so he manages to strike you, but it's a glancing blow off of your new armor.
Let's go.
And he seems a little dejected, like,
The next one.
and it is your turn, Skarok.
How much damage was that?
You took 3, sorry.
Yep.
3 damage. On 2d8, which is a tragedy.
I don't
All
think
right.
so.
Scar kind of questioning and wondering where these people came from, but then again, at this point, he's a tree and he's just kind of above his station. I am going to smash said GIF for a 17.
And that'll land.
He will take. That is 11 plus.
We're just gonna gang beat this guy down.
It's 12 slashing damage.
Got it. All right. He's still keeping his feet. He's still got his sword at the ready. He still looks like he's willing to fight this through. Is there anything else you're doing, Skarok?
Bonus action, I'm going to shrink back down.
Okay. Do you want to shrink down to land next to him?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's your turn?
Yep, I'm done.
All right. Czar.
All right.
You're in the bushes, dude.
Crux
I
is
know.
up
I
and
went
moving.
over to help Crux.
Yeah, he's up and moving, but he's seriously injured.
Okay, as long as he's moving, he's fine. I'm gonna hop back out over here.
Oh, damn.
Man.
There you go.
Are we back?
Yeah.
Okay.
There he is. Okay.
There we go.
All right.
Little mix up again. That's all right. Continue on.
All
A few minutes.
I'm gonna pop back out over here. Can I see Dread Captain Czar?
You can see him. He is roughly 1,000 feet away.
Roughly 1,000. I don't like that. Okay. All right. I don't think there's anything I can do against him.
Or not 1,000. It's like 300 to 400 feet.
The command spell doesn't work if it says range of 60 feet, but I can communicate telepathically. But I still don't think that'll reach.
His reached you.
His command spell?
Oh, sorry, not the command spell. His telepathic. My bad.
Yeah. I was saying, he could hear me, but he's not within 60 feet for the command spell. I was going to tell him to jump off the ship.
Jump. Step forward. But
the
yeah,
play?
it's a little too far away.
Yeah. In that case, there's not a whole lot I can do. I'll hit, what do we got? 5. Take these 2 steps forward.
I mean, if you needed to get melee, you could always take a Tony ride.
Oh, I could take a Tony ride. Forgot all about that. Hey, Tony!
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit me with one of them there fancy teleport beams.
Before you finish, he's hit you.
All right.
That there's cultural appropriation.
Doink. I'm gonna hit this guy with compelled duel.
Okay. What does
I
he have
want
to
to
roll
make
for
a
that?
wisdom 13.
Wisdom 13.
Interesting.
Beans.
He manages an 18.
Beans.
If you wanted a duel, you only needed to ask.
I did.
Oh.
I just used magic.
He just. Anything else?
Nope, that's gonna be it for Czar.
All right, Valen.
Yeah.
Tin Man, you're up. Let's finish this out.
I'm just gonna ask him to lay down his weapons. He's outnumbered, outgunned. This is his one chance. Put him down.
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Yep.
Or intimidation, whichever you prefer.
Persuasion. All right. So that's gonna be a 12.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You see, the one thing he wasn't expecting to hear right now was a stand down command. It was the exact opposite of what he was expecting to hear right now, and the exact opposite of what he was intending to do. But looking around, he does realize he's heavily outnumbered, and that his own captain just abandoned him, which, generally speaking, is not something a GIF would do. As many of you may know, GIF are
Prideful.
They're prideful and they're loyal to a fault to their crews. They would rather go down with the ship than even take 100% chance of getting away. That said, he holds up his sword ready to go and looks around. You can see his eyes moving behind the slits of his helmet. A duel. I win, I leave. You win, I'll tell you everything I know.
I like these odds, sir.
Who do I fight?
And I'm gonna look at the rest of the crew and look back and nominate Tin Man there. Tin Man, you got this?
For a duel?
Skrock.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that.
Hey, look, I'm gonna go see Crux, and I'm gonna basically go start heading my way over to Crux, and
Well, the big man left us, buddy. So you got me or Tin Man. Who do you want to dance with?
Hey,
let the bug fight him.
I'm gonna say Czar's standing right here.
And
I thought Zara was standing over there. I wasn't present for that.
And then I'm gonna look over at Czar and say, "What about you, Bug Brains? You want a piece of this guy?"
I mean, not if you keep insulting me.
Oh, well, why don't you prove it? Come whoop this guy's ass. Not let
Why
him
don't
go
you?
home. All right, it looks like you got me. I'm gonna start stretching out.
Okay. He's not going to let go of his sword, but he's going to set it, let it down. And he's going to head over to the opening in the wall. We fight here! And he drives his sword into the ground. And I think that's where we're actually going to call it for the night.
All right.
Nice.
Behind him, you actually see the ship retreating into the out of the wild space system.
I wanna, as they're retreating, I wanna telepathically communicate exclusively to the other Czar.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know who you are, but I will figure it out.
All right.
In response, you just hear, "You will try!"
First of all, that is not a Thrycreen's laugh.
All right.
Oh.
Awesome.
You're an imposter.
All right.
Sounds
and
good.
that is-
Hey, thanks for everyone that tuned in on TikTok. I think we got
Yes,
almost 40
thank you.
viewers there. Thanks for
Ooh,
everyone
wow.
that tuned
All
in
right.
on Twitch. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll be back in 2 weeks for episode 5. Next week, we're going to try to have a fun get-together, behind-the-scenes, maybe role-playing stream. So tune in. Check out our socials for all the information. Thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.
Yeah, have a good
Thanks,
night,
all.
everybody.
See ya.
See you in the stars.
Night.